This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, February 15th, 2023.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. Hopefully you're having a good week. You're being cognizant that it is what? Options expiration. You're not sitting here getting too excited about down moves or up moves. You're being thoughtful. Again, you know your surroundings. It's like going out for a hunt or a hike or whatever. You know what the weather's going to be like. You know what to expect to a certain degree. At this point, please be safe out there. I appreciate all the love, support, donations. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's worth it. We had a nice little live chat today. I recommend watching it. Talked about a lot of things as the market was playing out, especially with, say, like First Solar. Please, you got to be thoughtful. I had a good conversation today with Lee, and one of the things that we talked about was the ability to be decisive. And one of the things that I think a lot of people are struggling with is, it's going to be chop, but you don't know to act. Right? Like people aren't taking money when they have it, or if they're not trading around their core position. And one of the things that I think most people will make the mistake of is when the market moves in your favor and you're anticipating a swing trade, you can leverage the short term by trading around a position. For example, say you have 5 puts, 500 shares, and it drops. You take 300 off, your core is 200 shares, 2 puts, whatever. You trade around it. Most people cannot do that. I'm telling you, that is the biggest cause of anxiety and stress in trading. Because again, all or nothing trading is gambling. All or nothing execution puts pressure to be perfect. And I'm telling you now, and I've told you this 1,000 times, you can't expect to be perfect in trading. It just doesn't work like that. Your best mindset is to be happy, doing the best you can with the evidence you have. Because hindsight's 20/20. Let's not play that BS game of, what's going to happen all the time. It doesn't work like that. Your goal is to maximize your wins, minimize your losses. And to do that, sometimes you have to trade around positions because you don't know for sure of anything. You don't know if tomorrow's the day the market dumps. You don't know if the market has to retest the high. You don't know a lot of things, but you do know trends come out of chop. Remember, chop before the pop, chop before the drop. And that's the hardest part. Well, when you're starting that trend, you hope it happens right away. But 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be some variable of that. And if you're not on the train when the train leaves, for example, like Taiwan Semi today, you're going to be disappointed. So hence trading around your core, understanding what's going on around you, knowing it's ChopX, being very cognizant, okay, of everything that's going on. Because if you don't do that, you're going to put a ton of pressure on yourself to be perfect and not make mistakes. And I'm telling you right now, no one is immune to that. And if you get into that belief that you can't make mistakes, you're going to lose your confidence. And if you lose your confidence, you might as well quit trading because you're going to lose your butt. All right. I just wanted to start there. Hit me up if you want to join the Discord room. A lot going on, trying to keep people informed of how the market is looking, what we think. I've said this today. Keep in mind, it's Wednesday of options expirations. Usually the last day, folks will hold options into this major expiration. Pretend or think of it hypothetically as people who hedged out, say, November, December, even January into February's options. They're going to be closing those positions today. Most likely, maybe even tomorrow. And the options makers now are going to be taking on large volumes of calls and puts, hence the ChopX. The market is down. No, sorry, the market's flat and the VIX is down, 15% this week? So, just good little, again, know where you're at. Hit me up on Twitter, also posting our messages, what we're up to on Twitter. Here's Fen. This is a pretty funny meme. Yeah, exactly. If you're newer to trading, you've been trading your whole life, you need more help. Well, here's the place to go. Go to the educational videos, the Back to Basics series. I try to break this down, and I'm telling you right now, if you watch the recaps, you watch the stuff together, you start to see how this all works. The people who don't, the people who troll, the people who talk junk, again, I like to hear it because I want to know who the losers are, because the losers are the ones who are always talking junk. Just be honest, because again, if you're making money, you have no reason to ever complain and attack other people. This is where you can learn a lot of the little intricacies. Options, expiration. It's ChopX. All right, let's roll through it. Bitcoin. Someone's asking about shorting this today, and as I said, either wait for the retest, which looks like that's coming into play. And we talked about it literally on the live chat. I'm like, I wouldn't short it just to short it. You saw resistance on the 15-minute down here in the 22s, but hey, it's popping. Again, I wouldn't day trade Bitcoin just to trade it, unless you got I mean, maybe some of y'all have the capacity to do it. I don't have a ton of money sitting in crypto exchanges, but I would be watching this 24, maybe even this little trend line here. Now, again, just you can like move it in with a couple degrees. I mean, you could say here, you could say here, say there. You know what I mean? Like, don't bring a ruler to trading. Bitcoin looks interesting up here. If it breaks out, market might like that. If it fails, watch out below. Oil. Now, neither short nor long this. Don't have any positions on it. Don't have really too much to say about it, other than it's going to be choppy. I will buy it down in the 60s, and I will watch it rip higher in the market tank if that's what's going to happen next. At this point, it's just kind of all right, it's good to watch. Right now, it's not really telling me much. Nat gas, every day. What do you think of nat gas? Every day. I think it's probably going to be stuck in the chop cycle. Unless something geopolitically comes, that's what you're betting on. Good luck. Just give yourself time, because that might not happen, and it might happen next week. I mean, there's talks of Russia bringing 500,000 soldiers to the border. I mean, are they doing that to invade? We'll see. Again, either way, define your risk. Be careful, please. The dollar going higher. We talked about this being a trap. You're welcome. We called the bottom here just like we called the top here, as this was a novice gap trap with the doji. Well, what was this? A novice gap trap in reverse. Got into support. Remember, this zone mattered. We talked about it endlessly. We said 50% fib and around it. Again, don't bring a ruler to trading. Oh, it got a little lower than 50%. Well, it did. And then it turned around. Now you gapped up. Now you're holding over the 50-day. Looks fine by me. TLT, again, higher rates. Yield curves inverting. Fed fund futures are rising. Again, they're probably going to have to get to 6% or higher to actually stop inflation. TLT coming down. 100-day. Trend break. Now remember, it's ChopX. Does it have to just unload? We'll see. This is the VIX. ChopX, VIX termination, whatever you want to call it. Here you're coming right back down. Time to reload the puts. Keep it really that simple. SPY. I mean, down, up. 409. Talked about it. Just chopping around. Another inside day. Could it come back after the highs? Always possible. But I think this is the chop top test. Chop top trap. Whatever. Sorry. Chop top trap. Trap, then a chop. You've seen this multiple times. Trap, then chop. Double trap, double top, trap, and then flop. It's a reoccurring pattern of what I would consider pain for the both sides. Because all the bulls were excited, rug pulled. They got all bearish. Remember, we got bullish, and we rode this up. Not the whole way, but to enough, the 200-day. Which, again, looking back, obviously not good enough. But again, cry over spilled milk if you want. But now you have the novice gap, and now you've got this chop top. Be aware of seasonality. You know what's coming. If you've been following the channel, you know mid-February. Afterwards, heavy profit taking expected in the market. QQQ, bouncing back. Watch what happens here around 309, 310. Let me just drag it over. To me, at this point, your guess is good as mine right here. Does it need to go back higher? I don't know. I'm putting shorts on today. I'm not. Again, we traded around some stuff. I don't know if anyone took any profits on the lows today. Again, the market was down. As I told Lee and people I'm talking to all day, you know it's ChopX. Trade around your positions. Stop being naive to this, or come back and talk to me on Tuesday. Like, just don't cry about it. Just, it is what it is. IWM, popping back to our alert. And why is this alert here? I mean, you can see this is where I thought that's flat. Oh, there it is. It's flashing. I figured we could get back into the 195 area. We're there now, or we got close enough. The alert has been triggered. We're there now. It's been lagging. It's down way more than the Qs and the SPY. Well, I guess indirectly about the same as the SPY. Well, let me double check. Triple check. No, I think the IWM is definitely down more. Yeah, IWM is definitely down more. It's lagging. We'll see what happens here. I mean, watch the 20-day. Clearly, it's like just touches it, bounces. I mean, this is the thing. I always laugh at people. Like, just there's probably a moving average on the somewhere where it's respecting, and if you can find that one, it'll help you trade. It'll absolutely help you trade. Dia, this is just chop central, man. I mean, this matter of time, in my opinion, for it flops. Gold, man, every day, gold bugs talk so much crap. And again, I'm calling gold miner bugs cockroaches. Look where we hit. Old trend line and channel, chop zone, whatever. Gap down. Again, this is the thing about trading around your position. If you had gold shorts, you take a little off, and then add it back on the pops. I personally, again, I'm not short gold anymore. I gave up on that trade this day because I had options and they paid the most. The IB is jacked because obviously implied volatility expanded like a mofo on this gap down, and then it chopped out. And all I have now is dust, which is GDX short ETF. Silver, again, we thought this action, you can't get that excited. I mean, I know these candles are green, but the lower lows and lower highs. So how much more? I've said this. I mean, damn it, it never saves where I want it to. You could get into this range. You're essentially there. Is it due to bounce? Yeah, I mean, maybe. If you want to buy silver for the long run, I mean, think you're getting discount. I mean, that's what I'd be buying is physical. I wouldn't touch the SLD. GDX, you're welcome. Got down to the trend line. With dust, this is the thing. If you bought the dust in the 10-11 range, you want to take some off, go ahead. I mean, I personally have my core position. I'm just riding this thing down. I probably should be trading it, but I just see better opportunities to trade right now in what? The other stuff in the market. Again, right, this is already just going in my favor. I'm not really overthinking it because when the whole market's ready to go, GDX will get slammed too. So it's already, like, this thing is, like, I'm watching stuff on the runway. This is already, hit cruising altitude. People have got their seatbelts off having drinks. Like, this is already good. Like, I'm not worried about this one. GDXJ, hope that makes sense. Like, it's just been working. Nothing really do. Comes, hits the 200, 100-day confluence, little doji. Okay. Again, if it's due to bounce, it's due to bounce. That's part of trading. You're not going to be, you're not going to hit it and get every penny all the time. And, like, again, if you bought the dust down here in the 10-11 range, if you want to take some off, you can. I think there's better trades to short near term. But when you have a winner sometimes and it's obviously winning, you got to at least hold your core. You got to let it ride. You got to let some of it ride. And right now, I'm not really trading around much of it because, again, I'm trying to save bullets for firing on, say, the semiconductors, Apple, Netflix, Meta. I might even pull the trigger on Tesla at some point. AMD, chopping, 0.618. Again, this thing is known for blow-offs and then chop and failing. Looks like nothing out of the norm. TSM, here you go. Oh, Dan, you're early. Why are you early sometimes? Because this is the kind of crap that happens. You try to get as high as you can or as low as you can when you're getting into a swing trade, and then the cap starts to trade. I said today, watch a 20-day. If it hits a 20-day, you probably could add shorts. Well, now it's your reference with a tight stop. Because if it gets over the 20-day by, more than probably $1, it's probably going to somehow get back to 95. And if it does 93.80, I guess you can expect 95s. But if it fails there, perfect. You got a nice reference. The 20-day, not always the trend of choice, but I like to see when you get below it, it usually becomes resistance. I've noticed that with a lot of names. The 20-day, for some reason, everyone loves it. Will it always last? No, maybe not. NVIDIA got earnings next week. The dumbest people I know love the stock. It's basically doubled. No, it has doubled and more. Now you're coming into resistance. I'm assuming nobody's looking at the monthly or the weekly. They never do. And you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. They don't know. They can't even see their own pain, potentially. So it is what it is, where it's at, in my opinion. Could it go a little higher? Could it go a little lower? It's hard to know. It's just hard to know. So you can play the game. And when you say play the game, here, you're on the weekly, for example, coming into the 50 fib. Could you get to the 0.618? Maybe. You can see, like, there's major resistance right here. Maybe, yeah. Make the zone big enough to just kind of guesstimate. But this isn't sustainable. Pro gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight weeks up. Good luck. At some point, it's going to doji out, probably flop. Because, again, if you don't know why, go watch the Back to Basics, Who Wins the Tech War. The answer is not tech. And you'll see the logic. SMH chopping up here. Okay. Again, if you're trading around it, cool. Today, really nice little drop. Took a little Soxus off up near 20. All right. We'll buy back more in the 18, 19 range. Clearly have that opportunity. Waiting for tomorrow. I want to see how the housing starts. Building permits, Philly Fed, core PPI tomorrow. If we rally, I am going to take out the short stick. And I'm not talking about my wiener. No, I'm just kidding. In general, like, I will look to short the market. And the short stick meaning, like, I will be looking to beat the market with the shorts. Like, take some shorts on. I'm trying to make it funny, but I don't know if it's appropriate for this. This isn't a comedy special. Anyway, and so that's what I'll be looking for. If we get pops, I'll be, again, because it's OPEX, CHOPEX, they'll probably get idiots buying calls, and then the market will pull the rug on them. And that'll be the trade. It'll be pretty simple. Adobes, chopping. There's not really much to say here. I'm sorry. Apple. Now, this is one started putting the short stick on today. Got up here in 154 area, and it was okay. I said during the live, could it get back to 156? I would be okay with it. I mean, again, hindsight's 2020. All these people are like trying to be perfect about their entries for swing trading. It's like buying down here. Oh, you better get it. If it doesn't get back to 124, I'm not buying it. Oops. 124.37. Oops, you didn't have that opportunity. Oh, I'm only going to short if we get to 156. Well, what if that doesn't happen? You're going to be real pissed. And I've done that a million times. Missed something by a penny. 10 cents, a dollar, whatever. Amazon, I mean, it goes from 113 down to 97. CHOPEX, bounce. So, yeah. I mean, just kind of is what it is at this point. See what happens. I mean, personally,
here's what I found.
Siri, I didn't ask you anything. Personally, this isn't even on my radar. I mean, maybe if it pops something, it's just it's junk, man. I'm sorry, people. I just have to talk about it because it's Amazon. CRM getting a bunch of like institutional money coming in. It rallied on that news, and then it's been stuck since. Things that wouldn't confirm bullishness, in my opinion. Institutional money probably was using that news to unload when retail was like, I gotta buy. Googs. What do we talk about, right? We said, watch the 50-day. I'm not surprised it rallied just a little bit. Also dropped some headlines like Bing is not really that good either. I mean, all this AI crap, it's all a bunch of hype. It's a bunch of crap. People are going to buy it. And again, eventually it's all going to be free and everyone's going to have AI everywhere. So we'll see what happens here. Google, not surprised. I mean, this is the thing. Imagine if you were trading this trend. We would have said, hey, you need to take profits and wait to short the bounce. Well, short the bounce. Probably somewhere around 98, 99, maybe even 100. Meta, sweet, not going anywhere. Talked about reshorting it up here. Congratulations. Now it's just chopping. If it hits 182, you know what to do. Microsoft, again, bing, bang, bongo. Elon posted it, XDiv today. Doesn't really look that great, in my opinion.
Could you try again?
So at this point, I mean, I'd love to see 275. I just don't think we're going to see it. NDAQ has been lagging hard. Again, why? I say this every video because it's, again, when momentum leaves tech, no one's going to be trading NASDAQ stocks. So that NASDAQ is lagging for that exact reason. It's confirming more evidence. It's just a matter of when, not if. But, everyone needs to be right now, and it has to go right then, or yesterday. MicroStrategy. This is interesting, right? Bitcoin rallying. Well, look at that. Trading around it. Again, I don't have a trade on this thing. Personally, could care less. It's going to do what it's going to do. Oh, you want up, Cat? It's going to do what it's going to do. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. You can't get in the microphone like that, sweetheart. Just watch it here. Again, I don't really care about it. Netflix. Now, I like shorting this up here in the mid 360s. And I was talking to Lee today. Like, if you were watching this thing, every time it gets on the 20-day, take some profit. And then it bounces right back. It's CHOPEX. Just a matter of when. This is a big chop top. Here's your distribution. Here's your novice gap trap, in my opinion, and sideways. Roblox. I say don't short this every day. Wah, wah. That's why. I'm telling you, it's going to get bought out at some point. In my opinion, what's the best way to play this now? I mean, if it ever drops a ton, you buy the damn dip. That's all I'm just going to really say and trade around it. Tesla, man, bulls, so excited. Could we get the 200-day? I don't know. Top of the box, maybe. I mean, people are calling for the top of the box. Everybody I know is saying, oh, it's going to the 200-day. Just remember, if everybody thinks something's going to happen, it either does and then it's a trap, or it doesn't happen and it's a trap. Right? You got to be cognizant of it. The market, every time the market gets really excited about something, the opposite probably plays out. Right? CPI, everyone thought it was going to be bullish, take the market higher, bam, flops and chops out. Well, now what? It's OPEX. Is this just a retest? I mean, again, this would probably be the better area to buy Tesla Q at 42.43. Materials names, all right, cool. Letter X, I mean, again, it's chopping around 30. There's really not much to say. These things are just in the chop zone. Nucor, chop zone. Again, you had your top. Holds the 20-day. Caterpillar, this was interesting. Up $4 today. Didn't do anything. Watch the rolling over 20-day. Again, I mean, if you got your core, you're good. You're real good. And if you trade around it, you're even better, and you're just looking for shorts. It's simple. Keep it simple, stupid. I don't know how I say that, and just people can't get it. VALE, chopping here. Chopping, been a big dumper. Again, why is it down? Oh, it's strong. Okay, chopping out. OPEX. OPEX doing OPEX things, y'all. Arrow. OPEX doing OPEX things. Nah. CCJ. CHOPEX doing CHOPEX things. Now, again, we've said you probably could short up here. But if you're wrong, please define your risk. I mean, me personally, again, I mean, I think this stuff, I mean, this is where I'm not shorting materials. That's just really not kind of my thing here. It just seems obvious. It's easier to short tech because tech is going to struggle with inflation. Materials names just pass the cost on because, again, you need inputs. You don't need the outputs. And if you do need outputs and there's a million of them and they're, the economy is weak, well, guess what? It's called competition. Their pricing goes down, and so their margins thin. Thin to win. No, thin to lose. CF, after hours earnings. Did we hit earnings? Did they get announced yet? I mean, I'm recording this right after. There's no volume there, so 950 shares, so I wouldn't consider that really anything. Give me 2 seconds to look up to see if they announced their earnings after hours. Has it hit the CF beat? Revenue up 2.7%. Everything looks good on it. But again, right now, 95, not going anywhere. I've said this a million times. Show me in the 70s, fill this gap, I'll buy it. At this point, I'm not saying it's dead to me. It's just, again, this is why I review all these charts. It's just, there's not much going on, right? It's just, it's a snoozer. Move on. Mosaic. 200-day, hits it, bounces, or flops at the 100-day. Yeah, I don't know. Not all this stuff. It's just kind of like, again, pivot. Oh, I got to trade this. No, you got to pivot when you're wrong or something that doesn't look right or it's not acting right. NTR, we talked about hitting that 200-day, same thing. AA. Oh, it should be doing well. Banning Russian aluminum. Things that aren't bullish. XLF, when's it going to go, Dan? Well, let me get out my crystal ball. It's going to be Friday at 12:37. The tanking begins. I am channeling my future self. No, I don't fucking know. But I do know what. I like shorting up here. That's all I do. All I do is short. All I can up above 37. And see what happens. Again, trade around your position. Be patient. Patience, grasshopper. No, I can't have patience. Because my market doesn't go where I want it right now in a swing trade. Well, JP Morgan, watching, holding here. Again, when you zoom out, you go, ooh, okay. You're like, all right, fair enough. It's got to do what it's got to do. Oh, but let's look at the weekly. It's chopping on a weekly support resistance zone. Well, does that mean it has to happen the first week it does it? No, it doesn't, kids. It doesn't. It could take weeks. Give yourself time. Give yourself time. Did I say give yourself time? Give yourself time. Let's keep this rolling. Let's get this through this. Morgan Stanley. Chop top. Making slightly higher highs. Okay. Again, I personally said be careful shorting any particular name. I'd rather short the XLF. Goldman Sachs looks a little weaker, as Jay Solstice says. I agree. I like this one better if you're going to short an individual name. Solar. Again, there's a rumor of a big slush fund being pushed by Biden for green. As hopefully you took your profits on solar, as you should have, at least some, and said during the don't be surprised if it rallies. Okay, even better. ENPH is a dog. People want it for some reason. Watch the 20-day. Said that. Let it come in. First Sol or Sedgerton. People are like, oh, it's coming into the upper box. That'd be right. That would be right. Watch what happens when it gets up here. And this thing goes all the way back. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Now, again, if you get into the trade, it's called layering, not all or nothing trading. First Solar. Talked about this in the live chat. I'm like, if we if you ask me in 2 weeks, where is it going to be? Was this a good short at 169? I'd say, yeah, I think so. But look at today's action. That's why I was like, I'm going to lay off it. Because, again, when you read these stupid headlines talking about green slush funds, even though solar, I mean, whatever, I don't want to get into the geopolitical bullcrap of it. Is it a big head and shoulders pattern? Like a double-headed? Again, I said it in the, could it get to 175? Hit me up if it does. Because, again, I mean, this is the thing. I'm trying to be cautiously pessimistic in the sense of shorting, but I'm also being aware, like, it's going to be ChopX. Extremes can happen. Things can happen that I don't expect. So I'm trading around my positions. Market pops, I go heavy. Short, when it drops, I take a little off. Trade around position. I don't know why it's so hard. Oil, chopping. Nat gas, everybody loves UNG. Stick a fork in it, it's done. It's done. It's done. Again, nat gas can rise. This ETF might get back to the 10, 11 range. I don't even know why I even placate to this crap. XOP, Devon Energy, I think was down like 11% at one point. Nice little doji, rallies back. Watch the 100-day. We've talked about this. You know, we talked about the trade here. Remember this? And then said what? Take profits when you get in the upper zones. And now it's chopping around. I don't know. Is this a head and shoulders top with the 100-day as the reference? Could be. Keep an eye on it. ExxonMobil makes new all-time highs. Hits the monthly upside trend line. Chopping. Is this a trap? A trap of a trap? Keep an eye on it. Right? Occidental. My man, Xavier, where you been, dog? Talked about hitting your zone yesterday. Gazing. Gabang. Gabango. Uh-oh. Doesn't look good. PX Dizzle. Down 12 puntos. Again, there's something to say, like, something's not right with this. I think they had earnings, didn't they? Maybe not. Either way. Again, these names are really hard. I mean, the market's hard in general right now, but these names just have, like, stuck nothing cheddar to them. And then we'll end it with EQT. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I mean, again, they had earnings after hours. Let me just pull that up. See real quick if we got any movement. This is what you're getting after hours. 30. Again, this stock looks dead until natural gas comes alive. Okay, hope this helps. Trying to keep these videos short. Have a great day. Please be thoughtful. Know the surroundings. Always, again, like going outside. You know the weather before you step out. Like, know trading circumstances. What's going on around you? What is the environment like for trading right now? It's going to be choppy until OPEX is probably over or we get one more extreme. All right, here to help. Love you guys. Be thoughtful. Be safe. And again, remember, learning to trade is easy. Trading and executing is hard. Later.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.